Hey everyone, it's Shauna Hills with Macintosh Marketing. Welcome to our SEO AI Search and Search Intent Masterclass. This is a little bit longer than some of our other lessons because we squeezed everything about this particular topic into one lesson. But whether you're an SEO specialist tidying up your strategy, or you are a marketing agency and you're looking to basically talk the language that Google speaks, or you're maybe a new hire and you're just trying to get up to speed, this session is for you. By the end of this video, you're going to confidently be able to write page titles, metadata, and any other H1s that you might need on the website. And they won't just align perfectly with your search intent, but they will also actively boost your click-through rates, maximize your visibility in AI search engines and on regular search engines. So let's dive in. So first of all, let's address a big question in the room. Some of you may already have. What exactly is metadata? So metadata, simply put, it's the code that's behind the curtain. It's basically how we tell search engines and AI models exactly what web page is talking about, even before they fully crawl the page. So think of it like the packaging on a product store, on the product at a store, rather. If the box is blank, then it's not going to be very appealing. If it's dirty or if it looks cheap or confusing, no one's going to pick it up. And that's what a bad metadata does to your website. It makes a brilliant piece of content completely invisible. Now, why does Google care so much about this? Well, because Google's entire business model relies on relevance, really. When a user types a question in, Google has milliseconds to find the best answer. Now, it uses your page title and your H1 to understand your topic and your meta description to see if you actually can solve the user's problem. But here's the 2026 twist. AI search models like Gemini, Perplexity, ChatGPT, these don't just look for keywords, they look for intent. They scrape metadata so they can decide whether your page is authoritative enough to be featured in AI-generated summaries. If your metadata is weak, AI search engines will pass right over you. You'll lose that traffic before the user even looks at standard results. So let's talk about the most important factor, search intent. Why do users click or why do they scroll right past you? When someone searches for something, they are in a state of friction. They have a problem, they want a fast, trusted solution. If your metadata matches their exact search intent, it triggers a psychological green light. If your page title is boring or it's cut off, or if your meta description looks like it was generated by maybe even a robot, it has zero human empathy, people are going to scroll right past that. They're not going to click it. A low click-through rate sends a massive red flag, by the way, to Google. It says humans don't like this result, they don't trust this page, and your rankings will start to tank. The bottom line is this. Metadata isn't just a technical checkbox for the SEOers. It's your first and sometimes your only handshake with a potential client. It directly impacts your rankings, it dictates your click-through rate, and it decides whether you are going to exist in AI search results or not. Now that you've seen and you've heard now what the foundation of everything is and what we do, let's look at how to actually write them and to dominate SERP features. We will move on to the way that Google thinks. So to understand how Google thinks, we first have to stop thinking like marketers and start thinking like this person right here. Meet Sarah. Sarah isn't looking at search results about metadata algorithm updates. She's not looking for that. She's not thinking about those things. Sarah has a real world problem and she's stressed. She needs a solution right now. Old school SEO was all about tricking the system. stuffing keywords into a page so a robot would rank you. But today, Google has spent billions of dollars trying to replicate exactly how people like Sarah and her brain works. Google's ultimate goal isn't to match her keywords, it's to decode her intent. Write this down. Keep it in your brain, put it on the wall, because this golden rule basically is the basis of this entire masterclass. I don't want you to forget it. The best SEO answers the searcher's question before they even click. If Sarah has to click your link, dig through 3 paragraphs of fluff, scroll past pictures and pop-ups and videos just to find the answer rather of the question that she was looking for, you've kind of already lost her. But and by the way, Google tracks that. Google understands if she hits that back button immediately. They know that you failed her. Our job when writing metadata is to give Sarah a micro answer right there on the search results page. We want to prove to her and Google that the prize is beyond our doors. So, how does Google actually enforce this? Well, there are 3 major pillars that you see here on the screen. First is, of course, the helpful content system. Now, this is Google's site-wide filter. It actively penalizes sites that are created for search engines, and it rewards sites and content that's created for humans. If your metadata looks like a string of robotic keywords, Google marks it as unhelpful. Before anyone ever actually gets a chance to see it, this will happen. Second, we have AI overviews. This is the massive shift that we are seeing across the SERPs. Google is using AI to pull information from multiple websites and answer Sarah's question directly on the top of the page. If your page title and H1 do not clearly state a specific intent-driven answer, the AI can't parse your data, and you will not get cited as a source in that AI summary. Finally, there are featured snippets. Now, if we structure our H1 tags and metadata perfectly, Google will rip a piece of our page and put it into position 0. Now, I know oftentimes we hear about position 1, but there's actually a position 0. This gives Sarah the immediate and instant answer. Every single one of these features exists for one reason: to satisfy search intent. Is Sarah looking to buy something? Is she searching for information? Is she looking for a specific brand or an agency? As a marketing agency or as an SEO, or whether you are an SEO or a client success manager, someone that's setting expectations, you need to know that matching this intent is the only way to survive in modern search. If we don't optimize for people like Sarah, we do not rank, period. Now that you've had an opportunity to know exactly how Google evaluates the human on the other side of the screen, let's look at the 4 different types of search intent. So, for the rest of this masterclass, we are going to use real estate as the industry example. And basically because real estate perfectly shows how a human being transitions from a casual browser to a high-value buyer. Every search query falls into one of 4 distinct levels on this intent period, and it dictates how exactly we write them. At the base, we have informational intent. The volume here is massive, but the buyer intent is low. Our avatar searches moving to Knoxville. They don't want a sales pitch. They want to know things like neighborhood guides. If your metadata tries to sell them something right away, you're going to get scrolled past. As they get closer to that decision, they're going to then move on to the commercial intent. Now they're investigating options actually. Luxury realtor, Knoxville. So they know they need a service, but they're comparing providers. Our metadata here needs to scream authority, trust, and unique value to win that click over our competition. Next is the high value, and where basically the wallet comes out. This is the sweet spot, the transactional intent. Now, the searcher would put in homes for sale in Scottsdale. They want active listings. They want them right now. Your metadata has to promise immediate fulfillment. Things like updated daily or view photos. Finally, at the peak is the navigational intent. The user already knows who they want. They are searching the Carolyn Young team. They're not browsing, they just need the front door open. For navigational queries, our metadata isn't about convincing them, it's about brand preservation and getting them to the right page flawlessly. So let's test your skills right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, pause this video and drop your classifications in the comments below. Look at the card on the right, Scottsdale mortgage interest rates. Where does that sit? Is it data gathering? So that's informational, right? Realtor.com login page. They want a specific destination, making it navigational. And best luxury master planned communities, AZ. They're weighing options. That's a classic commercial intent. So new hires, SEOers, specialists, once you can map out a query to this pyramid, you unlock the ability to write metadata that captures attention every single time. Now that we have the psychology down, let's look at the exact step-by-step formula to map out a page. So we've got 4 types of search intent down, but how does this actually apply to a real website? Here is where most agencies fail. They treat every page on a client's site exactly the same. In reality, search intent is just a mirror of the buyer's journey. As search specialists and client managers, we must map the correct page type to the correct stage of Sarah's journey. If we write high-pressure, sales-heavy metadata for a user who is just browsing, we lose them instantly. Let's trace Sarah's journey from a curious browser to an active client. It all starts with awareness. At this stage, Sarah is far away from making a transaction. She's simply asking questions. Should I sell my house right now? What is it like living in Knoxville? The pages that we would create to capture her here are things like blogs or buyer-seller guides. These pages serve as an informational intent. Our metadata strategy here is simple. Educate, don't sell. We want our titles and our descriptions to promise a helpful, comprehensive guide, not a pitch to a list to sell her home today. Once she gathers information, she moves into consideration, that second stage. She's committed at this point to moving, but now she's actively evaluating locations and school districts. Which neighborhoods in Scottsdale are best for families? To capture Sarah here, we want to map her queries to a neighborhood page or a community page. This is commercial intent. Our metadata on this particular page needs to establish our client as the ultimate local market expert. We use titles and descriptions that highlight local perks, school ratings, and lifestyle data to prove that we have the inside track. Now the intent spikes. Sarah enters the decision phase. Her wallet is out, and she's ready to take a practical step. She wants to know, what is my home actually worth? Or, are there active listings in my budget? The pages serving this stage are pages like the home valuation tools, active listing pages. This is raw transactional intent. Sarah wants immediate utility. Our metadata must promise instant gratification. Get an instant 10-second home evaluation or browse active MLS listings updated every 15 minutes. And finally, we reach action. This is the conversation point. Sarah has picked her neighborhood, she knows her budget, and she is ready to talk to a human being. The pages that are mapped here are going to be contact pages, booking forms and pages. This is going to serve as a mix of navigational and transactional intent. Our metadata here must make reaching out feel effortless and seamless, very friction-free. We want simple, trust-building titles like schedule a private home tour with the Macintosh real estate team. Here is the ultimate takeaway to remember. Never write transactional metadata for an awareness blog. Never write a informational metadata for a contact page. Align the journey, the page, and the intent all together, and you'll dominate those search results. Now that we have mapped out our pages, let's learn how to actually write our very first element. Up next, a step-by-step formula for a high CTR page title. So, now that we've mapped out those pages to Sarah's buyer's journey, let's talk about the absolute heavyweight champion on page SEO, the page title. The page title is your first handshake on Google. If it's weak, nothing else on your website is going to matter because no one's going to click it and no one's going to read it. To write titles that consistently win the CTR wars, we use our golden title formula, pyramid primary keyword plus location plus benefit plus brand. Instead of stuffing words together, this formula structures your metadata so that it speaks perfectly to both search engine robots and the human psychology of a buyer. Notice that brand is last. I can't tell you how many websites I come across where brand is the very first keyword. Don't do that. Here's your first strict technical constraint, the character limit. You have exactly 50 to 60 characters to play with. This is the ultimate sweet spot. Look at the gauge on the screen. If you write a title that is 50 characters, you're leaving valuable search real estate on the table. But if you write over 60 characters, look what happens. Google's desktop results will ruthlessly truncate your title with those ugly 3 dots. That ruins your click-through appeal, and more importantly, it causes AI search engine models to drop your page before your main benefit gets cut off. Let's look at a real-world example to see this formula in action. Look at the bad example on the right, Knoxville Homes Realtor Houses for Sale, Tennessee Agency. This is a classic old school keyword stuffed title. It looks like it was written by a broken machine, honestly. There is zero benefit, it's incredibly spammy, and it completely kills the brand's trust. If Sarah sees this or when her brain immediately recognizes what this is, it's going to say, this is ad spam. She's going to scroll right past it. Now, look at the good example. Homes for sale in Knoxville. View MLS photos, and then the brand's name. It's exactly 53 characters, perfectly fitting the sweet spot, and it targets the primary keyword, locks in the location, and introduces a massive benefit. View MLS photos. Sarah wants to see inside the home, so this benefit is perfectly aligning with her transactional click intent. Let's move on to meta descriptions. Once we've written the perfect title, it's time to talk about its ultimate partner in crime, the meta description. Here is where almost every rookie SEOer falls into the keyword trap. They think, I have 155 characters to stuff as many keywords in here as humanly possible. Please don't do this, because here is the golden law of metadata. People click benefits. They do not click keywords. Now, sure, Google's bolding the keyword on the screen might catch the user's eye, but that's just for a millisecond. And it is your value proposition and your call to action that actually will convince their brain to press down on that mouse. So, to execute this like a pro, we used a highly structured 4-step formula. Step 1, target the keyword. Yes, we still do that. Place it right near the beginning to establish immediate clear relevance with Google and the searcher. Step 2, the core benefit hook. What does actually Sarah want? What actually does Sarah win by clicking your page? Do you save her time? Do you save her or give her some type of exclusive access? Do you put her goals in the front and center? And then step 3, a call to action, a strong call to action. Avoid weak phrases like learn more or click here. Use active commanding verbs. View MLS photos today. Get your instant valuation or browse luxury listings. And then step 4, emotional resonance. Real estate is emotional. You want to trigger excitement or relieve their friction. Phrases like save hours of searching or secure your dream home and build instant psychological trust. Now, let's talk about some of the technical boundaries for this. Your absolute sweet spot is between 140 to 155 characters. If you write past 155 characters, Google will ruthlessly cut you off on mobile and desktop search results. And if that cutoff happens right in the middle of your call to action or your contact info, your click-through rate collapses. Client success managers, SEOers, marketers, when you're auditing metadata, make this character count your primary check. Now, let's look at a real-world case study to see how this works. Look at the bad example on the left and find homes for sale. Example on the left, find homes for sale in Knoxville, Tennessee. We are the best realtor in the Knoxville area with years of experience. This is boring. It's self-centered. It sounds like it was written in 2012. Sarah does not care about our client's years of experience, at least not yet. She cares about finding a home right now. So look at the good example. Searching for homes in Knoxville. Save hours with our curated list of newly updated MLS listings. View active home tour photos and secure your dream home today. Look at that. It targets the keyword. It introduces a massive benefit, which is it saves hours. And it gives her an active directive. View active home tour photos. And it finishes with an emotional win. Secure your dream home. Now that we've mastered on-page metadata, let's look at, it's time to take a deeper dive and step inside the website and talk about the final critical handshake, which is that H1 tag. Now, think of your H1 tag and your title and meta description as a billboard that gets people to pull off the highway and walk into your store even. This H1 is the giant sign right above the front desk confirming that they walked into the right place. If that sign is confusing, they will turn around and back right out. To keep both search algorithms and human visitors happy, we follow 3 unbreakable rules. First, the rule of 1. You must use exactly 1 H1 tag. That's per page. Stacking multiple H1s confuse Google's algorithm crawlers, dilutes your semantic keyword weight, and ruins your page's structure. Secondly, keep it simple. Your H1 is not the place for a long sentence, not even for a flowery paragraph. It needs to be short, bold, and visually commanding at the very top of the page. And the third, align with the title's intent. If your page title promised homes for sale in Knoxville, but your H1 says about our team, you've created a bait and switch. Sarah will bounce off immediately, signaling to Google that your page is not helpful. This brings us to the biggest trap in copywriting: marketing slogans. Write this down. Never sacrifice clarity for cleverness. Look at the bad example on the right. Unlock your next chapter. You see this all the time on real estate websites. It sounds fancy, but it has zero weight for keyword clicks. Sarah doesn't search for chapters when she wants to buy a house, and Google's algorithm can't index a vibe. Now, look at the good example. Homes for sale in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's simple, direct, and it is intent first. It instantly reassures both Google and the crawler and the human reader that they are in exactly the right place. If there is one slide in this entire training that you need to screenshot, bookmark, save to your desktop immediately, this is it. This is going to become one of your agency's biggest assets. Why? Because it eliminates the guessing game completely. When our team is onboarding a new client, we don't look at their sitemap and wonder what to write. We refer to our master directory. We have mapped out 11 key page types, from the FAQs to the contact page. To keep things clean on your screen today, we are going to look at the 4 highest converting pages on a standard site and exactly how their goals, intent, and metadata align. Let's start with the homepage, that top row. The core goal of your homepage is simple: brand positioning and trust. The intent here is a mix of navigational and commercial. For the page title, we lead with the top service term, lock in the location, and tag the brand. Top real estate agency in Knoxville, Tennessee, and then brand name. Look at the meta description. It doesn't sell a single home. Instead, it invites them to partner with us, browse listings, and book a consult. And the H1 on the page, the H1 on, and the H1 on page header, getting tongue-tied reading these, is a direct Knoxville real estate specialist. It's very clear, it's authoritative, and it's very professional. Now, let's look at your core traffic driver, the community page. The goal of a community page is to establish hyperlocal neighborhood authority and drive property queries. This is a high-impact transactional intent. For the title tag, we use our neighborhood formula: homes for sale in neighborhood or city, and then the brand. The meta description must promise immediate value for someone that's shopping. We highlight active homes, school ratings, and walkability scores to hook the click. Finally, our H1 matches the search query exactly: neighborhood homes for sale. Next up is the highest ROI page on your site, the seller page, often built around a home valuation tool. The goal here is simple: lead generation. This is a transactional intent. The seller is looking to cash out. Our title tag leverages a high click-through rate question: what is my city home worth? Free valuation. Notice the meta description. It acts as a hook. Thinking of selling? Get an instant data-driven valuation. It addresses their exact pain points and triggers immediate action. Our H1 aligns perfectly, keeping the user on track. Get your free city home valuation. And finally, we have the blog page. The goal here is to top of funnel discovery, capturing informational intent. For the page title, we need to write a click magnet headline: 10 things to know before moving to said city, and then the brand's name. Now, the meta description promises educational resources that will save them time. Planning a move? Read our complete guide containing the 10 critical things you need to know first. Our H1 is a direct mirror of the title. Moving to city, 10 things to know. Now, let's look at the AI portion of optimizations. It's 2026. The search landscape is experiencing its It's 2026, and the search landscape is experiencing the biggest shift ever. Sarah, our target buyer, isn't just scrolling through Google. Blue links are not attracting her anymore. She's asking ChatGPT. She's asking Gemini. She's asking Perplexity. She's asking Microsoft Copilot. They're going to do the research for her. If you want your client to get recommended by these massive AI models, you must understand exactly how these LLMs read your code. Here is the golden rule. AI crawlers like ChatGPT and Google Extended do not scan websites like human eyes do. They do not look at beautiful colors or layout design. They ingest the pure code structure, treating your page title, your H1 tag, as mathematical anchors, honestly. These tags tell the LLM's neutral network exactly how to map your page into its database of facts. If your metadata uses a clever marketing slogan, the AI crawler gets confused. It can't categorize you and it moves on. But if your metadata is clean and structured, you secure the holy grail of modern SEO. The AI citation spot, having a clear, structured code, this raises your citation priority in AI overviews by up to 40%. To write titles in H1s that AI models can instantly parse, we use the 4W AI framework. Whenever you are writing or auditing a page, make sure these four variables are clearly mapped in your metadata. Who? The authority entity. Name the brand or agent clearly so that the AI can map your client to Google's knowledge graph. What? The core service. Use standard industry terms like MLS listings, realtor, or home valuation. AI likes standard nouns, not fancy synonyms. Where? The geographic boundary proximity is everything. Hyper target the neighborhood, the city, the state. And then why? Solving friction. This is the benefit hook that answers the user's prompt, like save hours or view actual photos. By feeding the AI engine with the who, the what, the where, and the why in a clean, uncluttered format, you make it incredibly easy for your page to serve it up as a cited answer. If you master this and you are no longer just an SEO specialist, you actually become an AI engine optimization expert. You are preparing your clients to win the next decade of search. Let's look at some common mistakes, though, that marketing agencies and SEOers do make. Now that we know the framework for AI optimizations, I want to look at the flip side. What happens when we get lazy? Look, it's 2026, guys. Search algorithms are smarter than they've ever been. Yet, thousands of marketing agencies are still making the same basic mistakes. If you commit these 6 metadata sins, you are not just hurting your traditional Google ranking, you're making your client's site completely invisible to AI engines. Let's break down the actual code flaws holding you back. First up, duplicate titles. Look at this before example. If you name every main page Home Legacy Realty, you're telling an AI crawler that your pages have zero unique value. Every single page needs a specific purpose, like separating your South Tampa listings from your St. Pete condos. Second, keyword stuffing. Writing a string of random search words like best realtor, top real estate agent, cheap homes is a massive red flag. Use natural language. LLMs look for natural language to process and look for human readability. If you stuff keywords, your AI confidence score drops to 0 and you get flagged as spam. Third, missing locations. If you sell modern 3-bedroom condos, where are they? If an LLM doesn't see a clear geographical anchor, like downtown St. Pete, it won't risk recommending you to someone prompting for local properties because they're not sure if you're going to have the right answer. Local search is all about proximity. Fourth, generic H1s. Your H1 tag is the single most heavily weighted piece of on-page text. Writing "Welcome to our website" is a tragic waste of digital real estate. Tell the bot and the user exactly what you do right out the gate. Find luxury waterfront homes in Tampa Bay. Fifth, titles that are over 60 characters. Look at this paragraph and of a title tag. It's a 96 character long title tag. Traditional search engines will violently cut this off with the quickness. It will destroy your human click-through rate. Keep it simple. You want it under 60 characters so that it perfectly fits onto every screen. Finally, missing call to actions. Your metadata can be perfectly optimized for AI crawlers, but if a human sees your link cited in ChatGPT responses, there's no call to action there, like schedule a tour or browse listings. They may just scroll past it. Never forget to close the deal. Audit your clients' websites for these 6 mistakes this week. Just cleaning up these basic structural flaws usually results in immediate traffic bumps because you're clearing out the digital clutter, and that's what's holding the site back. Remember, the golden rule: AI search models score text based on clarity and informational density. Give them clear data, and they will give you the traffic. Now, let's look at how we can put this entire lesson together. We have spent the last over half an hour breaking down the science, the psychology, and the math of metadata. You've learned how humans click, how search bots crawl, how modern AI engines synthesize facts, and the 6 major sins that will sink rankings. But we don't believe in passive learning here. The best way to lock these frameworks in is to put pen to paper. It's time to break out of your shells and step into our live metadata workshop. Here is how this is going to work. You will pause this video when I say to start the exercise. Step 1, form some teams. We're in the breakout into 5 maybe specialized task force for SEO. Each task force represents a dedicated client that the team manages, and specific corporate webpage assets. Step 2, the rewrite challenge. Your team's job is to draft a perfect metadata package. You must write a title tag that fits exactly between the 50 to 60 characters, a meta description between 140 and 155 characters, and an on-page header that matches the title of the intent hook. I want you to use your masterclass formulas in the 4W AI framework. Step 3, presentation and debate. Once the clock runs out, which take about 15 minutes for this exercise, each team will elect a spokesperson to present their work to the room. We're going to put your metadata on the big screen and critique it as a team. And I want to see how it stacks up against human click-through rate psychology versus AI parsing scores. Let's assign your page types. Team number one is tackling the homepage. Your focus is brand positioning, trust parameters, and setting local geographic boundaries. Team two, you guys get the community page. You're writing for hyper local neighborhood authority with transaction ready MLS action hooks. Team three, you get the blog page. You are capturing top of funnel discovery, writing an informational click magnet guide. Team four, you're auditing the seller's page. This is a high ROI. This is a lead generation page. So your goal is optimizing transactional hooks for home valuation tool signups. Team five is managing the luxury page. Your copy must appeal to high-end exclusive buyers with benefit-heavy luxury positioning. You have exactly 15 minutes on the clock to collaborate and perfect your package. Choose your spokesperson, open up your cheat sheets, and let's write some metadata that prints, clicks, and get ready to pause the video. Your time starts now. And time is up. Welcome back, everybody. Before we go any further, how did that exercise go? Seriously, let me know in the comments or drop your drafts in the comments. Which team had the hardest time fitting their benefits under the character limits? I'm guessing Team 5 on the luxury page probably had a battle trying to keep it sophisticated and under 60 characters. And Team 4, did you manage to write a seller page meta description that triggers immediate action without sounding like a pushy salesman? It's tough when you first start doing this on the fly, but notice how much cleaner, how much sharper, and how much more deliberate your copy became the second you apply these frameworks. You are no longer guessing, you are engineering clicks. Now, to make sure your team maintains this elite standard every single day when you go back to your desk, you need a gatekeeper. This is your pre-publishing metadata checklist. Think of this as the final pre-flight checklist before hitting publish on any page, any blog, any listing. I want everyone to watch the screen on this slide and print it out, bookmark it, tape it to your computer. Before any metadata goes live, ask yourself these 6 non-negotiable questions. Number 1, does this match the intent of this page? Is your snippet perfectly aligned with what the user actually wants, this specific stage of their buying journey? Don't write a transactional pitch for an informational blog. Number 2, is the location that you're targeting included? Proximity is everything in local SEO. If you don't build in geographic anchors like the city or the state or the neighborhood, you are invisible to both Google Maps and AI queries. Number 3, would I click this? Be brutally honest. If you saw this layout on a busy, noisy search results page, would it stop your thumb, or would you click that mouse? Or does it just look like another generic wall of corporate text? Next, let's look at your technical compliance on the right side here. Number 4, is it completely unique? Never reuse metadata. If 2 pages share the exact same title tag, search engines get confused and they split your ranking authority. Number 5, is it under the character limits? Keeping your titles under 60 characters and descriptions under 155, if you see those 3 dots at the end of your snippet on Google, you've failed. Keep it clean. Number 6, does it include a strong call to action? Never leave traffic on the table. Close the loop with an active command or a verb like browse MLS photos, get valuations, view community guides. Always tell the user what to do next. Now, if you can check off all 6 of these boxes, your metadata is officially optimized to crush traditional search snippets. Dominate modern AI search briefs, that would be a breeze. And then you also get to win the human click. You are officially cleared to publish. And that's a wrap. You can listen to me explain metadata all day long, guys. You can play along with the workshop exercises in groups, but you will never truly master this skill until you sit down by yourself, look at a messy client's website, and engineer the copy yourself. That is why we are here closing out the lesson with your official metadata implementation assignment. Think of this as your final proving ground. I want every single team member to complete this task by our next technical video and session. And here is the task. First, choose one real-world client from our current agency portfolio or yours. Once you have your client, identify 3 distinct pages on their website. I highly recommend picking pages with different search intents. For example, pick a homepage, a hyperlocal community page, and maybe an informational blog page. Next, audit their current code and rewrite 3 core elements for each page. Write a highly compelling title tag between 50 to 60 characters. Draft a click-inducing meta description between 140 and 155 characters. Add structure an on-page H1 tag that matches the page's search intent. Remember to leverage the 4W AI framework that we covered in lesson 8. Your copy is ready for both human eyes when you do it this way and matching learning models. But we aren't just copywriters. We are data-driven SEO strategists. So, for each of your 3 pages, you must submit a brief, strategic justification explaining the intent. Define, where is this page sitting in the buyer's journey? Is it informational? Is it commercial? Is it transactional? This why explains the reason behind your rewrite decisions. Why did you choose that specific brand benefit over the anchor and over another? How does your structure solve Sarah's primary pain point? The expected improvement is detail how these edits will move the needle. How will this help search engine crawlers contextualize the page, and how will it lift click-through rates? Calculated simply as what you see here. Prove to me that your engineered edits are mathematically and psychologically designed to win. We've created shared Google Docs in our team workspace where you can submit your audits. Our senior editorial team will personally review every single submission, scoring them based on character limit, compliance, benefit-driven hook strengths, and local entity targeting. I suggest that you guys do the same on your shared workspace. This is your chance to shine. Apply what you've learned today and clean up a real code for our active accounts or yours. Before you run off and start engineering your copy, let's talk about how your assignment is going to be scored. We want it to be completely transparent about our agency's standards. When you submit your audits to our team's Google Doc, our senior editorial team will personally grade each submission using a clear 3-part rubric. First, character compliance is worth 30% of your grade. There is no middle ground here. Your page titles must fall clearly between the 50 to 60 characters, and your meta descriptions must be under 155 characters. No truncation, no dots on search results. Second, benefit-driven hook strength is another 30%. We are grading you on your copywriting psychology. Are you solving Sarah's actual pain points, or are you just recycling boring marketing jargon? We want to see how active and compelling your hooks can be. And finally, local entity and intent alignment is worth a massive 40%. Did you include hyperlocal proximity keys? Did you correctly align the on-page H1 with the page's search intent? And did your strategic justification document clearly explain why your changes will lift traditional organic click-through rates? Once you master these code level elements, you are officially ready to set up your technical game. After you stretch your legs and grab that fresh cup of coffee, we're launching right into module 2. So finish this exercise so you can get on with the very next video, which will touch on advanced technical schema. A sneak peek as to what's going to be coming up next is schema markup. We're going to go all deep into the different coding, show you how to feed crawlers. We're going to cover rich result optimizations and then entity interlinking. We're going to map out semantic page on-page connection hubs to elevate your priority in AI overview citations. If you thought metadata was powerful, wait until you see how schema transforms a site's visibility. You have done incredible work today. You've got the rules, the checklist, the strategy. Now go put those frameworks to action, write your metadata masterpieces, and submit your homework. Go crush it, take a well-deserved breaks, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.